If you could go back in time, what do you think you would do differently?
I realistically can't imagine choosing anything but medicine. No, I wouldn't choose a different career, no matter how hard it is at times. Yeah, it's so rewarding. Um, and would I choose a different specialty? No, I'm just at the start, so I'm just choosing a specialty now. But I feel like I do everything just as much with my heart as I can.
What are you looking forward to in your career?
Right now, my mind is so focused on just like the next growth step in my career. Um, I guess I'm excited for being able to do everything that I want to do, like pretty much independently. I guess like I'm always gonna have to ask for help from other doctors, but I look forward to being able to make most decisions with confidence on my own, because I think right now as like an early physician, um, I ask for help a lot, as I should. Yeah, so that's probably something really exciting to look forward to.
Very cool.
Hmm.
What are you afraid of in the future?
I'm afraid of, luckily, I feel like this is preventable, I hope, but I'm afraid of like getting like burnt out or like more callous with something that I like love so much right now.
If someone else is considering the path of becoming a doctor, what would you tell them?
Do it. Yeah, definitely do it. I would tell them to think about it though, about like why they want to do it, because I feel like they should want to do it to genuinely help people, or maybe like to give back from some personal experience they had or something like that. I would never go into it just for like, uh, if it's gonna be for prestige or the name or something like that, money. Definitely not the right reasons to do it, because it's a long path and it's a beautiful path, but it's a lot of work, and I think you want to have your heart in it to be fulfilled and not get burnt out and appreciate the work you're doing and do the best job.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just me personally, I would have done it half for the love of the work and half for the high salary. But I think that probably would help with things like burnout.
Yeah, well, and the salary is even like, if you want to make a lot of money, you could do something else. You could go into like finance,
Yes,
or like investment banking or other things, like business world, yeah, and make way more money.
indeed. Well, there's that next question. Would you still be a doc if it paid half of what it pays? Or just a very mediocre salary?
Yeah, I personally would, but it would be hard.
There's so much schooling
There's so much debt.
and that.
There's so much debt. And so I think like at a certain point you want to make sure that you make enough money to pay off all your debt. So half, you could still do it. But yeah, it would take a long time. Hmm. But yes, I would still do it. If you think about that as like a philosophical question and less practical, like yes, absolutely.
Well, if we can go back in time and we're still cavemen, or just civilized cavemen, do you think you would be a shaman and help people, or would you be some kind of healer in the ancient days? Or would you be something more technical or analytical, like you make weapons, or you're a hunter, track animals, or you're some kind of forager, identify plants?
I would definitely be a shaman. Yeah, I don't think I could do any of those other practical things. But I feel like a shaman would like embrace that energy that I hope that I have and also do in my profession or give in my profession. And so I feel like I'd gravitate towards that. And hopefully I'd have some really good hunters and weapon makers to like help me live.
Teamwork.
Huh?
It's all about teamwork.
Teamwork, yeah.
But you just love helping people and tending to people, is
Hmm.
what you're saying from that.
Yeah, and listening to people and feeling how they feel and feeling their energy and probing on what that means. And so I feel like that would align more with what a shaman does.
What do you think they should ask more about, or just start asking?
They actually changed the entire interview system right before I interviewed for med school to include more like personality type questions and like behavioral questions and like how you interact with people, interactions. Like they might even have you act out like a small, I don't know, like scene, just to see how you do with like that kind of thing on the spot. Or like you might stand back to back with another person and they ask you to like explain how to draw a shape to see how you communicate. So I feel like they actually like drastically changed it recently to focus on like communication skills and behavioral skills, because they're so hard to teach and so important. And so I think like I would actually just support like that kind of ongoing, because I do think it's so hard to teach. Like now as like a teacher, like when you're like training through medicine, you also teach a lot to the people younger than you. It's like an apprenticeship. And I think those kind of skills are actually like much harder to teach than just like memorization of facts. And so I think that's actually like a really cool thing to emphasize and continue to emphasize.
Well, if you couldn't become a doctor, or they're just it's not a profession that exists, what would you have chosen?
This is an easy one for me. I would want to be a fashion designer.
You would?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
If I had to choose something else, yeah, because it's really fun to create and to allow people to have self-expression, and I feel like you can do that too through clothes.
And do you think medicine will change a lot in the next 50, 100 years?
Yeah. I mean, I hope it does. I feel like that's the whole point, is that you want it to be constantly changing so that you're progressing and people are actually getting better from things they couldn't before. So I hope from like a science perspective, medicine changes a lot, and that there's better drugs with less side effects, like especially in things that we have a lot of toxic drugs for, like in cancer world and things like that. So I hope the science progresses a lot. I hope that we can use AI to like take a lot of our clerical work away, and also take away some like things that are so like routine that a doctor's brain doesn't actually have to be used that way to like optimize the way we're working. And so I hope for these things, but I also actually think in 50 to 100 years they could definitely happen.
What would you change about public perception of doctors or hospitals, healthcare? Is there something that's misunderstood?
Yeah, well, I feel like unfortunately recently there's been a lot of distrust in the medical system. And I feel like there's a perception that's growing that professional opinions are just an opinion and not necessarily always, like there's a perception that it's not based in a lot of like thought and facts. And I wish that perception could kind of change a little bit, because I think that for most physicians, they genuinely are trying to just act out of, it's like what we call evidence-based medicine. It's like the facts that we see, that we study and read about, and make decisions from. And so I think the perception that doctors aren't doing that, and just kind of maybe either doing things just to make money, or doing things just because they think it's how it should be, or doing things because of like political motivations, is like really too bad.
Do you want something beyond having a nice career and a decent life? Like once you're done being a doctor, are you going to tackle something else?
I have not thought that far ahead from like a career perspective, no. But like my gut instinct when you just said, what do you want out of life, was like, I just want to like be surrounded by people who love me